Hey, if you and your team are still typing in ChatGPT, you are a marketing expert. Every time you need an email or a social media post or something like that, guess what? You are leaving ridiculous amounts of time and consistency on the table. Well, in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to build a personal ChatGPT where you don't have to keep typing that stuff in, where you can build a Dental CMO Co-Pilot, a personal GPT that already knows your brand, your locations, your offer, your voice, your compliance rules. Your team will move about 3 times faster with less risk and a lot fewer rewrites. This is part 1 of a 3-part series where we're going to be doing the foundation work today. What to upload into your GPT, never to upload into your GPT, and how to structure your knowledge base so your GPT works every time. Welcome to the Next Leap Academy, sponsored by New Paradigm and DSO Marketing X. I'm your host, Mark Hefner, and I'm really excited to bring this to you. Personal GPTs have helped me a lot in everything that I do. Today we're talking about marketing, but I've used personal GPTs for other things in my life. So let's get into it, guys. Before we start clicking around, quick reality check. What we're building today is a marketing assistant, not a clinical tool. This personal GPT will help your team create content, clean up internal documents, and speed up campaigns. It is not a place to dump patient charts, x-rays, or anything like that PHI information or for HIPAA compliance. If you're using a personal GPT in a browser, that environment is not marketed as HIPAA compliant, and it does not come with a default BAA or business associate agreement. So unless your IT and legal team have set up separate enterprise or API environments with assigned BAA, the rule is simple: no PHI in this GPT. Treat it like any other marketing tool that lives outside your clinical system. Just a quick gut check. Are you leading a multi-group where AI is everywhere in the chatter, but nowhere in your actual systems? Your teams have their favorite prompts, their own tone, their own Canva templates, and you're still not seeing faster campaigns, better patient communication, or real lift in your appointments book. And you have a hunch the first group in your market that builds a real Dental CMO Co-Pilot, not 10 random AI tools, is going to pull ahead fast. And if everyone is freelancing AI right now, you are also having no idea what patient information is being pasted where. By the end of this 3-part series, you'll know how to build a Dental CMO Co-Pilot that speaks your brand voice, that follows your marketing rules, knows your offers and locations, and reminds your team to keep PHI information out of prompts. So let's start with when a personal GPT makes sense. Not every practice needs a personal GPT on day 1. If you're a tiny solo practice who only paces on Facebook once a month and you have no marketing plan, no marketing strategy in place, you probably don't need to fully build a Dental CMO pilot yet. You're better off getting your basic offers, website, and call handling first. Where this shines is when you're doing repeatable work. And if you have a marketing team and you have multi-locations, guess what? You're doing a lot of the same thing over and over and over again. Perfect fit are DSOs and multi-locations groups that repeat campaigns across markets. Vendors that produce a lot of similar assets for multiple practices, and any team that has a brand book, offer menus, SOPs that nobody reads, but everyone's supposed to follow. You guys all know about SOPs. No one reads them, but they sit on a shelf somewhere. Well, we can use our personal GPT to make sure we're in compliance with our SOPs. But before you upload a single file, you have to decide the job for the GPT. Think of it as 2 layers. Layer 1 is the compact instruction block that's inside the GPT editor. And when I say compact, it is 8,000 characters, which may seem like a lot, but when you start to write out what you want for this, it may not be long enough. And we'll talk about that part a little bit later. This is where you tell it who it is, who it serves, the tone it should use, and the hard red lines that it cannot go over. Layer 2 is what we're talking about. The other part is the long form playbook. It's your attached files, your brand voice, your offers, your locations and rules, and any other data and information about your practice, especially when it comes to marketing, that you need to put in there, like marketing plans, like marketing strategy, who your ideal patient profile is, and what those may look like based on the service lines that you have. If you haven't completed those yet, don't worry about it. You can add them later. For version 1, I want you to pick one primary job, not 5. It's not to do everything. It's one job. Look at what your team is doing a repetitive tasks on multiple times a week, a day, a month. Ask them, find it out if you don't know. And if you do know, then use that. Here are 3 good starting jobs: campaign and content assistant, patient communication drafting assistant with PHI guardrails, internal operation document assistant. Ask yourself right now, if your Dental CMO Co-Pilot could only do one thing well this month, what should that be? What is the biggest repetitive task your marketing team is doing today? That's what your Dental CMO Co-Pilot should do. Type that job down in your notes. That will be your version 1. Let's talk about what most people skip: the architecture of the brain. It doesn't sound too complicated, guys. I know it may seem a little overwhelming at first, but we all do marketing. We all do strategy. It's planning out what you need. If you just drag and drop folders from random PDFs and hope for the best, your GPT will sound like a confused intern. First, the hard limits in plain language. In a custom GPT, Knowledge lets you upload 20 files per GPT. Each file can be pretty large. Actually, it can be 512 megabytes, but the cap is still there. You don't have infinite slots. And just to make sure we clarify, the 20 files per GPT, for those who are paying the $20 version, if you have the enterprise version or a business version, you can load up to 40 files, but the file sizes are still the same, 512 megabytes. But here, structure matters. A well-structured file does 5 things: has a clear purpose, uses headings and sections, keeps similar information together, uses real text, not screenshots, avoids random junk the GPT should ignore. I always tell clients, if an intern can scan a document in 60 seconds and say, I get what this is about, it's probably structured well for your GPT. Let me give you 3 real-world file types most dental groups need. Brand voice file. A bad structure looks like this: one giant copy paste of an old emails, web pages, and internal notes. No headings, mixed tones, agency's draft from 2018 that you'd be embarrassed to see live again. Your GPT has no idea what is good voice and what is trash. Good structure looks more like this: brand voice guide, whatever your brand voice is, sections with headings, your audience, core voice principles with some good examples, some do not use examples, under each short bullets on how you talk, then clearly labeled samples. Good email example 1, email to a DSO CMO about AI training. Don't use example old agency email, too hypey. You are literally telling the GPT, these are samples of good copy, these are samples of bad copy. So it learns and it knows. Second file, offers and services. That structure is a random rate sheet exported from practice software. Just codes and prices. Some promos from 2019, maybe 2023, some current, all mixed together. The GPT can't tell what's good and what's bad, or really what your actual promise is. A good structure is current offers and services, updated November 2025. Core services in plain language and promotions, things we never promise. And inside each section, you should have short descriptions anyone off the street could understand. And key rules or exclusions. A small table would help too. Same idea for location and contact information. A bad version is a mixed CSV file with 3 different spellings of the same office and columns named Loc ID 32. You guys have seen that as you've gone through your databases. Same offices, almost look the same, slightly different names, slightly capitalized different, always looking really different. Anyhow, a good version is a clean table labeled something like location directory, marketing use. You have columns in it, has location name, city, phone number, service focus, notes for marketing, maybe a list of the doctors in there and the services they provide. Now your GPT can write copy-like near our Irvine location without inventing addresses. So here's the thing a GPT can do. A GPT will not hallucinate. It will not make things up because everything it needs to know is in the knowledge files or the knowledge base that you've uploaded. If you hired a new marketing coordinator tomorrow and you handed them your folders, would they feel confident after an hour or would they be lost in chaos? If they be lost, your GPT will also. Here's what well-structured looks like in practice. Use headings. Use H1, H2, bold, anything that clearly separates sections. One main topic per file. Brand voice in one file, offers in another, locations in a third. Please don't shove everything into a 200-page PDF because you can. Keep layout simple, straight text or simple tables. No multi-column newsletters or weird designs. That means keep it simple, black and white. Clean out the junk. Remove any unsubscribed links, navigation bars, and internal email footers. Add meta notes inside the files. This model reads everything. You can literally write note to AI. Only use good examples when creating new copy. Do not reuse old examples except to explain what to avoid. Before you upload, ask yourself, can I describe this file in one sentence? Does it have clear section labels? Would a new hire know which parts are good and which parts are never again? Is most of the important information in actual text or are they locked in images? Am I comfortable if the GPT pulls any random chunk from this file into an answer? If you can say yes to those, you're probably ready. All right. Let's talk about the part that makes your compliance officers nervous. Is a GPT HIPAA secure by default? If you're using a standard GPT in your browser, that setup is not marketed as HIPAA compliant, and there is no automatic business associate agreement. There are ways to use OpenAI through separate APIs or enterprise environments with a signed BAA, often through IT will put this together or some other part of your compliance arm. But that is not what most marketing teams are using when you open up a tab in Chrome. So for the Dental CMO Co-Pilot in this environment, the rule of thumb is simple. No PHI at all. What should you not put into this GPT? What does that mean by that? You guys know this. No patient names, no phone numbers, no email addresses, no exact street addresses or anything that clearly points to a specific person. Dates of birth, insurance IDs, full face photos, x-rays, or any other images that tie to a real person. Free text notes that still contain identifiers. Simple rule. If real patient information or family member could recognize themselves in this data, it doesn't belong in your GPT. Plain and simple. What can you safely use? De-identified stories, synthetic examples of names, aggregated stats by location, wording templates that your legal team has already cleared. If I opened your GPT history right now, how confident are you that there is not a single patient record or name in there? That makes you sweat a little. This is your wake-up call. Reset your team's use in AI now. Because if you're in violation of HIPAA, your organization could be on the hook for a big fine if it's ever found out. All right, that's the foundation. You know when a personal GPT makes sense for your group, how to pick one clear job for version 1, how to structure your knowledge files so they actually work, and a hard line on PHI that keeps you out of trouble. In part 2, we're going to do a live build. I'm going to show you exactly what to write in the GPT editor, show you how to put the instructions in, how to upload your files, and how to test your GPT to make sure it refuses PHI information. and follows your brand voice. But if you want to go live now, I've built a GPT for dental marketing called Dental CMO Co-Pilot. You can download it here. Give it a whirl. Try it out. It'll ask you some questions up front about your first project. It'll ask you about your brand voice and a little bit about your group. Give it a try. If you want the exact instruction block I use, the starter file checklist, and the PHI guardrails you can hand straight to your compliance team, I'll put it all in the Next Leap Academy toolkit. The link is in the description. Hit like and subscribe for part 2. And drop a comment telling me what is the one job you're going to assign your Dental CMO Co-Pilot on day 1. I'm Mark. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in part 2. Have a great rest of your day, guys.